Alrighty everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, as you can tell, is New Music Friday. If you're new around here, it's basically the series where I give my thoughts and opinions on all the new country music from the last 2 weeks. Got some good songs lined up here. I'm excited to get into this list. As you can see, I still have not fixed the lighting here. It's really not a lighting issue, it's a camera issue, but I'm still using the old webcam. That's my bad. But regardless, I've got about 10 songs lined up for you guys today that we're going to dive into, the most notable releases in the country music scene from the last 2 weeks. And I think we're just going to jump right in with the thumbs down category. Songs I was not a fan of. I didn't like these ones for a variety of reasons. The first of which being the new Priscilla Block song, Off the Deep End. You can find me at the bar, shutting down Broadway, going to... Yeah, this song just is not my vibe. As long as we can stay very separate, I think we can coexist, but I will not be looking to cross paths with this song ever again. It's just too much musically. Personally, I always lean towards more gentle, spacious sounds, but this song is like a repeated punch in the face with that percussion and the droned out echoes. The guitars are just absolutely blaring. I don't even know what to compare this song to. Maybe the trailer soundtrack to a really corny comedy movie about girls going on a vacation together or something. I don't know. I just don't like this song, and I also don't like the lyric video, which to me just looks like an iMovie demo tutorial or something. Maybe I'm just dumb. Next up for the thumbs down category is the new Mitchell Tenpenny track, Always Something With You. You're killing me in that tank top, throwing me in that tank. To be honest, I don't know what I dislike more, the song or the music video. Because on one hand, the song, it sounds like a 33-year-old trying to cover like a One Direction song. But then on the other hand, it looks like a 33-year-old trying to cover a One Direction song if One Direction was formed in 2017. And I really don't know which one I dislike more. This song to me just reads as comfort food for radio moms. It's not that there's anything particularly bad about it, it's just so painfully bland and formulaic. The vocals are always going to be the draw with a Mitchell Tenpenny song, and while I mean his signature voice is there, it's not like his voice is going to change. He's not doing anything particularly remarkable. The melody is pretty standard. There's no real standout moment to grab you at the end. And other than that, it's just a pretty standard boyfriend country song, but instead of being like a lo-fi simple acoustic moment, it's this upbeat, quick-tempo dance pop song. I don't know, it's just not really my thing. Then we can move on to the decent category. Songs I didn't particularly love, but I still think are pretty good. I still think there's some value to them, some worth. And if you haven't checked them out, I would encourage you to check them out, make your own opinion on them. The first of which is the new Breland song featuring Lady A, Told You I Could Drink. Yeah, I told you I could drink. Told you. This song definitely grew on me from my first listen. It just goes down as a really easy listening R&B song brought to life by those great Lady A harmonies. Although it's Breland featuring Lady A, this is really Lady A's wheelhouse. This smooth, high-dollar pop R&B country blend. It feels like Lady A featuring Breland, but I don't mean that as a diss. On this song, I think Charles, the lead singer of Lady A, keeps himself pretty tame so he doesn't outperform Breland, because I think he easily could have, but it was a wise decision not to because it puts some more emphasis on Breland's performance, which I actually think is quite impressive. There's definitely some pitch correction going on with Breland's voice, but nothing to the point where it's off-putting, but nothing to the extent of someone like Cole Swindell, who can often sound like he's paging in from the International Space Station. Overall, it's just a pretty decent cut that I feel pretty impartial towards. Let's double check. It's still going right. Yeah. Oh, the camera's blurry. Why is it blurry? I hope this hasn't been blurry the whole time. Oh, the camera's out of focus. Oh, I hope it wasn't out of focus for too long. I need a new webcam. All right, and praying that the camera stays in focus. Next up is the new Jordan Davis song, Next Thing You Know. Next thing you know, your best man gives a... Next Thing You Know by Jordan Davis is a very straightforward song about the major events in life, how one thing bleeds into another. Next thing you know this, next thing you know that, then you're getting married, then you're having kids. It's something we've all heard before, but the instrumental's really bright, really soft. It makes it that much more enjoyable. It's nothing crazy, like I said, just a cute little acoustic cut with some simple but pleasing lyrics. I think it's decent. Then we've got a slightly funny release that I don't think many people saw coming. It is What Makes a Man by Ben Rector and Thomas Rhett. When this song was announced, it really seemed like a lot of people were kind of knocked sideways. I didn't know who Ben Rector was, but after some brief research, I can see how this duet came to be. I think the song, as you can tell by its placement in the video, is actually pretty decent. Sonically, it's very open, some very breathy, reverbed out guitars held down by some equally softened percussion. Everything is very subtle but wide, leaving a lot of room for the vocals, which actually gets some really nice depth in the mix. They've got some reverb placed on the vocals, and it makes them sound like they were recorded in a very grand space, and I think it pairs well with the instrumental. Although it's nothing crazy lyrically, it's just Ben and Thomas trying to follow in their dad's footsteps and wondering what makes a man. I think there's still some really touching moments lyrically, specifically Ben's second verse, which isn't much, but I think it's really well put. Sometimes I wonder what they'll say of me when I'm gone, when my daughter's living on, and will she care if strangers thought that I was famous or that I was just never home. It's that classic distant relationship between a musician and their child, similar to what Zac Brown has sung about on numerous occasions, like I Play the Road or The Man That Loves You the Most. Also, last point on this song, I found this while I was prepping for this video, and I find it pretty hilarious. On the same day What Makes a Man, this song was released, Craig Morgan appears to have put out a song literally called How You Make a Man, and so maybe Ben and Thomas can just hop over there and find the answers they've been looking for. Then, lastly, for the decent category is the latest Kelsea Ballerini pre-release from her upcoming album Subject to Change, The Little Things. It's when we're in a crowded room, put your hand on my back. As far as the pre-releases for this new Kelsea album go, I don't have anything against any of these songs. I think they're all really decent. I just haven't liked them as much as I maybe wanted to. And I'm not particularly sure why. Sonically, this one begins with some nice banjo, but it quickly jumps into like this soft rock pop tune with some fuzzy guitar lines, a skippy drum beat. The guitar breakdown in the pre-chorus really gives me Marshmello vibes, almost like when Maren Morris collaborated with Zedd. I think the song sounds really good. My only issue is I feel like the production and songwriting almost act as an oxymoron together. The lyrics are about bringing love back to the basics and how it's about the little things, yet the instrumental is really doing the most. It's not that either are bad. I think it sounds really good, and I think it was written pretty well. It's just the two aspects sort of clash and don't complement each other very well, and so for that reason, I think the song kind of has a roof put on it, and it just stays decent. But I think it could have been better if the lyrics and sound followed each other in suit. But still, I'm very excited for this Kelsea Ballerini album. Interested to hear what it sounds like. She said that it's going to be her most country album yet, which I mean everyone says in the lead up to the release, but kind of yet to hear that from these pre-releases. Again, nothing against them, but I'm always really interested in Kelsea. I've said that before on the podcast numerous times. I think she's one of the more interesting figures in the pop country scene. Just kind of waiting to see where this goes. Because at the moment, I feel like this album is gearing up to be really, good. Not great, but just good. But then we can move on to the thumbs up category songs I really liked. These are my favorite releases from the last 2 weeks. If you have not checked these out, I would strongly encourage you do. And the first one is from a slightly newer face. It's Ian Munsick and his new one, More Than Me. She loves him more than me. This song is absolutely gorgeous. Everything about the production feels so grand and rich. Ian has always flirted with some more creative fusions of pop and that mountain style country, but this one is much more traditional Western country, and wow, does it ever sound good. The steel, the mandolins, the acoustics, the soft percussion, Ian's famously bright vocals, it's just very rich in texture and instrumental flavor. I also think it's a really well-written song about faith and how it applies itself in something like marriage or a relationship. The song is Ian saying how he loves this girl because the girl loves God more than him, and how he's okay being second place in their relationship. It's an idea you'll hear a lot in church, how it's encouraged that your relationship is two people running after God together, and I think this song is just a fantastic demonstration of that idea. Moving on, second to last track I've got here for you guys. It's the new Parker McCollum one, Handle on You. Tennessee and Kentucky, 'cause you... This was nearly my favorite release from these last 2 weeks, but it was beat out at the last second by the song I've got next. But yeah, this Parker song absolutely slaps. In a shocking turn of events, Parker dropped a longing tune about beating himself up over a failed relationship, but it just doesn't get any better than this. I get excited just talking about it. Lyrically, I think it's one of his more clever cuts as of recent, not because the concept is anything new, it's just got some really witty wordplay that adds a lot of value to the song. Lines like, after all this back and forth, a fifth won't do. I love the rhyme in Tennessee and Kentucky, 'cause you ain't here to love me. I drink now that there's nothing to lose. But by far the runaway line from this song has to be the catch of the second verse. I tell myself that I should quit, but I don't listen to drunks. I mean, come on, that's a pretty hilarious line. But what's more is the sound of this song. Handle on You sees Parker shift away from the more rock-driven sound of his debut Nashville record. Handle on You is a much lighter, more dusty western track, which is very accurately represented by the 10 out of 10 cover that this song has. The one thing I noticed is the song really operates in loops, and it's just so playful. He starts each verse with the same line he ends it with. Even in the chorus, the melody just runs in one big circle, and the lyrical repetition at the end of the chorus just brings it all home. I finally got a handle on you. Jared and I spoke about this on the most recent episode of the podcast, which the link is in the description for that if you're interested. But we were saying how it's not that we dislike Parker's Gold Chain Cowboy album whatsoever, but I think Handle on You is a big step forward towards a more personal, unique style. This song is just overflowing with written and sonic character, and I just love it. But what could beat Handle on You by Parker McCollum? That is a great question, and I have the answer for you. It is the new Lainey Wilson teaser, Watermelon Moonshine.
Drinking watermelon moonshine.
I quite enjoyed Lainey's debut album. I thought it was pretty good. I think it established her brand really well, but I wasn't as floored as I think a lot of the community was. But Heart Like a Truck really made me take a second look, but it's this latest teaser from her upcoming sophomore album, Watermelon Moonshine, that has really put me head over heels in anticipation for this next record. The album is Bell Bottom Country, which is an incredible name paired with an equally incredible album cover. It's due in October, if my memory serves me right, and I'm very excited for this thing. Watermelon Moonshine is like a perfect expression of maturing. It's Lainey opening up about her journey as she matured as a partner and all the things she's learned along the way. The whole idea of the song is that her and this guy were drinking watermelon moonshine when she had her first time, and now even though she looks back laughing, every time she thinks back to those times, she's gonna smell watermelon moonshine. It's the thing that sticks out in her mind from that memory. I think it's just a very creative way of telling the story we've heard before. We've heard every bro country guy drink beer and hook up with a girl in the bed of their truck, but Lainey just comes in and is like, so let me tell that exact same story, but a million times better. It's so much more memorable and engaging to hear someone sing about watermelon moonshine as opposed to something like a six-pack of Bud Light. But moreover, I think it's the way she explains the innocence of being young and how her younger self didn't understand love as well as she thought she did. I think that's what separates this song from the pack, specifically the back half of the chorus when she says, "Too young to know what love was, but we were learning on a sweet buzz. There's never nothing like the first time, and mine's always gonna taste like watermelon moonshine." And I haven't even touched on the production yet. The song just twinkles with these hazy, grainy slide notes in the transitions. Otherwise, it remains very lo-fi with some healthy acoustic guitar paired with some bobbing percussion. Lainey's delivery is absolutely on point. I love her Western accent. It just fits so well. Everything about this song just absolutely killer, and definitely my standout from these last 2 weeks. Anyways, that is all I've got for you guys today. Be sure to let me know what you thought of these releases in the comments below. There's obviously some more music that came out this week. I know Morgan Wade dropped an acoustic EP, which I'm yet to check out in its entirety, but you know I checked out Wilder Days. And you know I heard that and then went and listened to the original Wilder Days like 6 times because I can never get sick of that song. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, a like really does help me out. If you're new and like what you see, maybe consider subscribing for more country music content. If you're already subscribed, why not share it to a fellow country music fan, see what they think. Links to my Instagram, Discord, and podcast are all down below in the description. Be sure to check those out if you're interested at all. And yeah, until next time, I hope all have a great day.